Welcome to part 17 of XWO Gaming's guide to Dark Souls Level 1 Edition. In this episode, we're going to be making our way through the Lost Izalith to defeat the Bed of Chaos. So for the remainder of this portion, the first thing we want to do is make sure that we have the orange charred ring equipped at all times. Even if that means we have to fat roll, and if it slows our movement down a little bit, that's absolutely fine, because we're going to be avoiding combat at all costs. So just follow the route that I'm taking here. And don't worry if you fall into the lava, because the orange charred ring will protect you. Collect any items along the way, although most of them aren't necessary. Just stick to the route I'm taking, because we want to avoid fighting these giant beasts. This portion of the game suffered from a lack of development time, and from what I understand, From Software just littered this entire area filled with these dinosaur type enemies, and they can be a real pain if they all aggro on you at once. So keep going this way and deal with the statues. Not all of them come to life. And I'm just trying to get my bearings because there's a hidden bonfire somewhere around here. It may not be on this pillar. This is one of the areas of the game that I'm least familiar with. So continue going this way instead. Head on up this route. And if you look below, there's another pillar below us. Grab the twin humanities if you need them. And I'm just checking for any more items, but I don't think there is any. So from here, jump down. Be careful of the statues and the beast enemies. And here is our hidden bonfire. You know the drill by now. When you reach a bonfire, light it up, kindle it, and repair all of your gear. With all of that done, head on back out. We're just getting our bearings here to make sure we go the right way, and also not to aggro these enemies. So I've just aggroed one, so I'm just going to run away from it. This area can get a little confusing, so if you're never sure where you're going, just stop to grab your bearings for a few minutes. And the way we want to be heading is through the lava and towards that archway, just up ahead here. Next we're going to run up the long route. There's nothing to the right, so head left. And head on down. Bear with me here, there was a secret I was looking for, but as I'm not familiar with this area, I didn't realise that it was further up ahead. And it's not actually a secret, it's just an alternate route. Generally when playing this game, I tend to skip as much of this area as I can. But we're not going to do that on this occasion for the sake of the walkthrough. So once you're down here, lots of statues are going to start coming towards you. So just take your time in dealing with them and try not to let them all gang up on you at once. If they all spit fire at you at the same time, it's almost certain to kill you. If you're confident, you can just run past all of them, but I'm going to take care of them all. Be careful when locking on because the camera can mess you up a little bit here because of the tight space that you're in. Just try your best not to get blindsided. As you can see, there's quite a lot of these guys. As usual, don't take any risks and deal with them one by one. And run around the back here for the item. Run up the stairs and deal with the thingo. I don't actually know what that enemy is called. But it's quite ugly and it needs to be taken out. Once you get up here, go to the right and head on down this route. statues wait for us down here. Once again I get a little bit lost here, so just bear with me. Just try and pay attention to the routes I'm taking, because that's going to come in handy in the next part of our guide. And I've run all the way back to the Lost Izalith just to get my bearings, so you don't need to do this if you know where you're going. Back up the stairs where we defeated the ugly thingo. And this time head down this route here. Even more statues are waiting for us at the bottom. So deal with those as you see fit. Ideally, just smashing them with your hammer. Clear this area out, as we don't want any of these guys sneaking up on us. With the area clear, you might want to hotkey some purple moss clumps, as we're about to enter an area that can poison us. We can remove the orange charred ring for a moment. Now if you head up this way, you'll notice there's a Titanite demon. We're not going to deal with him, so instead, go through here and keep to the left. I wasn't far enough to the left there and I fell through the floor. But not to worry, because this is where we want to be anyway. And as you can see below us, there's a few more ugly thingos. And they're waiting to swallow us up. So if you can, use ranged attacks or your pyromancy flame to deal with as many of these as you can. And try not to fall down there until they're dealt with. Two hits from a fire orb should be enough to deal with them. There's another thingo over here. Take care of this one too. And this part's also a little confusing, so just try and keep up with what I'm doing. I'm just trying to find a good vantage point to deal with the last enemy below us. But I think I'm trapped here, and I might just have to go down and deal with it with the hammer. I'm having no luck with the lock-on, or trying to get out via the scenery. Just bear in mind, if you do get stuck here, there's only one way to go. We killed most of the thingos, so there's only one left to deal with. Try not to worry about poison for now, it's just the same as Blighttown, and we can ignore it until we need to use a purple moss clump. Watch out for the second thingo that tries to sneak up on you. And just keep an eye on your health, because the poison will be slowly ticking it down. Grab the red titanite chunk, and any other items in the area. And just like in Blighttown, our movement will be restricted. We've come down here to find the red titanite slab. So follow the route I'm taking, being careful not to fall down the hole. There are several dead ends and turns in this area. But this is the way we want to go. Inside the chest is the red titanite slab. Once you've obtained that, just bone out. Do the usual routine at the bonfire. Make sure you have the orange charred ring re-equipped. And head on back this way. Once on this side, re-equip Havel's ring again. And you've got a choice, either deal with all of the statues or just run past them all. Fire orb is practically useless against them. But in the end, I decide to just run away from all of them. Back up the stairs and past the ugly thing. Fire Orb is quite effective against him too. Next, run through here and we'll be placed into a tricky situation. First, there's an NPC. Try and backstab her if you can, but if not, she'll go down quite quickly with 2 hits from the giant blacksmith hammer. But Nightkerk will also invade us again. He's no tougher than the last 2 times. So just beat him up, like you did before. Bearing in mind, he does cause the bleed build up, so try not to get comboed by him. 2 jumping R2s and he's flattened by our hammer. With all that done, go through the fog gate and towards the next boss, which is the Bed of Chaos. Slide down the slope to be introduced to it. There are several ways to defeat this boss, but we're going to do it the legit way rather than using the quit out method. So when you reach the bottom, you either want to head left or right towards these big orange glowing orbs, trying to avoid the attacks from the boss. Once here, smash down all the branches so you can attack the orange orb. Okay, so that's phase 1 dealt with. Phase 2, you want to head back to the opposite side. Bear in mind, the boss is now more aggressive, and as you run across, the floor will start to give away, creating lots of pitfalls as you head towards the next orb. The boss can easily sweep you down these holes, so just pay attention to when the floor gives away and try and keep your shield up as much as possible. Once you reach the other side, smash through all the branches again and attack the orange orb. And enjoy the cutscene. And now we enter phase 3 of the boss fight. And this is where you're going to see just how cheap the boss can be. We need to make our way back to the centre, but as we do, even more of the floor starts to give way. And the boss just whacked me straight down the hole. So this time, come back, preferably with the full Havel set equipped, and you will begin the fight automatically on phase 3, so you don't have to do the first 2 phases again. The boss will try its absolute best to sweep you down the hole, but what we're trying to do is jump on the branch that's in the hole in the centre of the room. Once you're on this branch, just take off the armour set so that we've got full movement. Roll through all of these branches, making sure that you don't get hit by the flames, and when you get to the end, attack the bug that's inside the last orange orb, for the one-hit kill, and the Bed of Chaos is now defeated. And you'll notice a bonfire has spawned behind us. Now would be a good idea to re-equip Havel's Ring and your regular armour set. And at the bonfire, you know the drill. Light, rest, and kindle. With all of that done, we're going to wrap this episode up. Join us next time, where we'll be making our way to the Tomb of the Giants. Please like, comment and subscribe if you enjoy the content, and we'll see you next time.